分权治好，释放刘晓波，
释放刘晓波
，Free 刘晓波
，Free 刘晓波，
释放诺贝尔和平奖得主，
释放诺贝尔和平奖得主
，08无罪
，08无罪，
自由无罪，
自由无罪。
Beijing Municipal People's Procuratorate, Branch Number 1, Indictment, December 10, 2009. This prosecutor believes that defendant Liu Xiaobo disregarded state laws and by means of rumor mongering, slander, etc., incited subversion of state power and the overthrow of the socialist system, which is a major offense. Submitted to Beijing Municipal Number 1 Intermediate People's Court.
Everyone is being watched by the Chinese police, who occasionally bundle a protester into a waiting police car. This is justice Chinese style. Most people are banned from entering the court to hear the case for themselves. The trial is proceeding right now.
The defense counsel contend the articles written by Liu Xiaobo merely voice a certain caustic and intense criticisms which ought to fall under the category of free speech. And free speech is a basic human right enjoyed by citizens according to the Constitution of the People's Republic of China and the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The values and ideas in Charter 08 are consistent with the ideas in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The People's Republic of China, as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, cannot but endorse the ideas in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the government has signed the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights more than a decade ago. Based on the principles of no crime can be committed and no punishment can be imposed without an existing penal law and proof beyond a reasonable doubt, one should not hold that Liu Xiaobo's actions constitute the crime of inciting subversion of state power.
Defendant Liu Xiaobo has committed the crime of inciting subversion of state power. He is sentenced to a fixed term imprisonment of 11 years and to 2 years deprivation of political rights. The defendant may speak.
"20 years on, the innocent souls of June 4th are yet to rest in peace. And I, who have been drawn to the path of dissidence by the passions of June 4th, after leaving the King Chen prison in 1991, lost the right to speak openly in my own country. Ask me what has been my most fortunate experience in the past 2 decades, and I say it was gaining the selfless love of my wife, Liu Xiao. She cannot be present in the courtroom today. I still want to tell you, my sweetheart, that I'm confident that your love for me will be as always. Over the years in my non-free life, our love contained bitterness imposed by the external environment, but is boundless in afterthought. I am sentenced to a visible prison while you are waiting in an invisible one. I look forward to my country being a land of free expression, where all citizens' speeches are treated the same, where different values, ideas, beliefs, political views both compete with each other and coexist peacefully. Freedom of expression is the basis of human rights, the source of humanity and the mother of truth. To block freedom of speech is to trample on human rights, to strangle humanity and to suppress the truth. I do not feel guilty for the following my constitutional right to freedom of expression or fulfilling my social responsibility as a Chinese citizen. Even if accused of it, I have no complaints. Thank you.
The big offense, though, I think that got him into prison, well, there were 2 of them. One of them was his essays from 2005 on, and the other was his work on Charter 08. The essays, the internet, you know, is something that the Communist Party of China has not been able fully to control. It's the first medium in the history of the People's Republic of China that cannot be easily and fully controlled. Radio first, then television, newspapers, magazines, all of these things are controlled and can be, and they know how to do it. The internet, as it grew and grew and grew and grew, and from 2005 on, pretty much grew out of their control, even though there are tens of thousands of internet police and hundreds of millions of yuan budgets to control the internet. And still, it's like chasing a bubble under the rug. And Liu Xiaobo's essays were at the forefront of the political dissidence that was on the Chinese.
Third one is Xiaobo just finished. He is the third term in China's prison. So based upon, elder than Xiaobo about 6 years. So I think Xiaobo really need and deserve a peaceful family life, even though for Liu Xia. So I think if he could come to here, stay in University of Chicago for 1 year, and another institution for 2 years, he could look for lecture job to teaching Chinese. At that time, job marketing for teaching Chinese is very good. So I sent an email through my friend to Xiaobo, and also I submit the name to University of Chicago. University of Chicago actually is very interested in him as the first candidate. But the interesting thing is Xiaobo sent the email back, only ask one question, say, can you guarantee after 1 year I still could go back to China? So ask me, the person just released by Chinese KGB. So I even not guarantee me could go back. How do I guarantee Liu Xiaobo could go back? So I just sent an email saying, this is a totally wrong question to wrong person. I'm even not the State Department of US government. So how do I have the poll? But I said very clear, I said, this is really is your chance to establish a peaceful life in United States. You still could, fighting for the freedom and the democracy inside China. But you really need to think about, you already 3 times in China's freedom. But Xiaobo rejected. So this is a true story.
And American Pen is named Liu Xiaobo an honorary member. We will probably make him an honorary member. And what that means is we'll try and reach out to his wife and his family and get material support and legal support, and to keep the pressure on. Kwame Appiah, who's the president of American Pen, testified before the House of Representatives in support of them taking some action to try and put some pressure on the Chinese government. And Kwame Appiah also wrote one of the recommendations to the Nobel Committee, recommending Liu Xiaobo to get the Nobel. So other people did as well, but it's important from the Pen side that he wrote that recommendation. And we feel really connected to Liu Xiaobo because he was the president of the Independent Pen Center for a number of years. He was an honorary president now, was on the board until he was incarcerated. So I urge you to go to our website, penusa.org. On the front, there's a Freedom to Write little news feed, and there's a link there to the petition that we'll be sending to the Chinese government and to our government and to the council. As well as going on to American Pen, which is pen.org. To their website, they have a whole set of resources that they've developed over the last 2 years, the history of their involvement with this, and a lot of interesting documents and video and things. And Human Rights Watch, this petition that's circulating here in the auditorium, you should sign it and do whatever you can in terms of signatures, in terms of financial support, which then gets passed. And that's really all I have to say. I hope you hang in there with it. It's going to be a long haul. It's going to be a long haul.
The real question in my mind is, I think personally that it's going to be too difficult for the Chinese government to hold him in prison. I think he will, within the next year or perhaps 2 years, he will be released if he agrees to leave.
释放刘晓波！
释放刘晓波
！Free 刘晓波
！Free 刘晓波！
释放诺贝尔和平奖得主！
释放诺贝尔和平奖得主！
言论无罪！
言论无罪！
自由无罪！
自由无罪！
联邦无罪！